Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm DJ David coming to you live right now. I'm still kind of learning the ups and downs about how to operate this live type of thing. Now, this isn't made to really interact with others. Even though somebody came in and asked me a question, I might defer it and answer it at another time. But my main purpose here is to bring you some songs that I think you know and bring up a little bit of history. Songs are great, and the artists that make them put in lots of time and effort. Even today, they put in lots of time and effort, especially in the past. And I first started off talking about the radio and how it played a main part in everyday life. The TV kind of changed some of that, but it never did lessen what the radio does. Even today, you cannot take away from the value of a good radio. Some of your new songs that you hear coming across the radio is really great, despite YouTube and all these other platforms in which they come out. Next time I come up, I want to talk about you some of the great singers out there. These are hidden great singers that you don't know about, and you need to really pay attention to them because they are really fantastic. Tonight, I'm going to be talking to you about some songs about how songs made movies and how movies made songs sometimes. And all of these are great ones. And some of these songs you know that you've heard. I mean, some of you have heard these songs before, some of you haven't. Let's see if you can remember. Okay, let's see if it comes up. And now remember, I don't play the entire song. I just play enough of it so that you know what it is. I want to tell you all a story about a Harper Valley widowed wife. Have you got the name of that one yet? Well, let me play a little bit more, see if you can. Teenage daughter who attended Harper Valley Junior High. Get it now? Yes, that's Harper Valley PTA by Genesee Riley. And they made a nice little Peyton Place type of movie out of it. But that was a hit before it became a movie. There's another one that came out a little while later, and see if you can remember it. And I think everybody knows this song because she's a famous singer. But she made this song, then we made the movie. Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. Do you know her name already? Mariah Carey? Yes, that was a great hit that came out, and it inspired a movie about the same time that come out, and everybody loved it. There was another one that came out a little while later, and I think that y'all all know this. And one of them is Night Fevers by the Bee Gees, and I'll play that later on. Another one that everybody remembers so well, and Gene Autry did it, but the best one that people remember more is one done by Burl Ives, known as Frosty the Snowman. Yes. And these are song facts produced by Songfacts that tells me what I need to know. Now, Wikipedia came out with some, and these are movies that actually came out and spurred a great song. And these are people that wrote these songs, and you just have to understand that sometimes the movie came out, inspired the song that inspired these hits that came out.
Head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way.
Have you guessed it yet? Well, I'll let you know the group is Steppenwolf that did this. There's a few other groups that came out after that did it, but Steppenwolf is one of the ones that came out with it first, and it was great when they did it. I can see the lightning, feel the rolling thunder, something like that goes on. But now there's another song that has come out, and it has spurred a lot of flash mobs around the earth, a lot of dance videos. But the movie came out, and they inspired a song. Can you tell me who sings this? Yes, Barry Manilow is one, but there's another singer too with him. Who is it?
She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and a dress cut down her there. She would merengue and do the cha-cha. And while she tried to be a star, Tony always tended bar across the crowded floor. They worked from 8 till 4. They were young and they had each other. Who could ask for more at the Copacabana?
You got it? There's been lots of flash mobs come up and they play that song and people dancing to it here and there. It's really a great song. And if you don't know the second singer, I'll let you know that it was Charlie Fox that sung that. But another song that came out a while back before that, that came because of a movie, was sung by the great Roy Orbison. Can you meet? Yes, Only the Lonely. Just a little bit more of that because I love the song myself. Now let's get back to a song making a movie. And the movie spurring the song. A while back, I think it was 1980 something, I think it was 1984, 78, maybe somewhere like that this song come out. And it spurred a movie to come out later on. And everyone, I mean, it's a favorite at high school, favorite in flash mobs, and favorite everybody. If you want to know, that's my cat in the background. But this movie came out and everybody liked it. And they liked it so much, it is continuing to be played even today. See if you can dance and name this. I know some of you already got it. Inspired a whole movie, a whole new genre. Yes, Mamma Mia by the ABBA. When they came out with this song, they had no idea that it would become such a big genre. I mean, sometimes the songs come out and people just overlook how much of an impact they made. And I'm going to talk to you about one that came out. And I got to stop this right now. And that's because this song that came out because of the movie, but the movie also inspired the song. Now, to give you a little bit of insight, this was written by Charles Clavel, who was a Air Force, Royal Air Force pilot in, in London. He also helped write this. He made the top Billboard 100s with this song when it first came out, but it was revisited later and made even higher on it. Now, the early writers of this was Brian Waste. I hope I pronounced that right, from London. And what they did was they took a story that was written in a book that was published. And the story was about a black Englishman teaching in a high school and college level in London. And he taught at East End English, East End of London. He taught English. And you have to understand, back in the 50s and 60s, you just did not mix interracial people together. Even though he was top of his class and he had that royal design, but he got that because he was also a representative for Guyana and for the United Nations in Argentina. And when he came back to live in London, he had to find different things to do. So he taught at these different schools and everything. He also taught at Yale and um, Howard University and places like that. But the song that I'm talking about is a song that was sung by Lulu. Now, this song made the Billboard Top 100s. And I want y'all to really listen to it because the way Lulu sings it, she really feels it like she's been there. Now, the movie came out and it all came together about the same time. And I want you to do a little bit of homework on this to find out more about it. But here it is, To Serve with Love. And I'm not going to play it all, just bits and parts of it. I may stop it and talk about it more and let you react to it.
Those schoolgirl days of telling tales and writing nails are gone. But in my mind, I know they will still live on and on. But how do you thank someone who has taken you from crayons to perfume?
Now, to give you an idea about the East End of London, it's about like teaching high school in the Bronx in New York, or East Atlanta, or South Chicago, or East LA. You know, you just did mix things and bring people into different cultures and things like that. And this is in the late 50s and early 60s, something just unheard of. And even when the movie come out and it has Sidney Poitier in it, lots of people didn't go see it because there was still lots of racial tensions at the time. But a true artist and true songwriter, true musicians and people went to see it. This winded up earning recognition for the song and also ushering in a change in the media. A little bit more.
It isn't easy, but I'll try. If you wanted the sky, I would ride across the sky and letters that would soar 1,000 feet high to serve with love.
All right. Back then, there was two no-nos. Now, you have to understand, a Lulu was about as London as you can get. And a girl, especially a high school girl, just did not sing like that about her teachers. It wouldn't matter what race the teacher was. She just did not do that. That was not heard of. You still don't hear of it today. But it did. It did get out there, and I want y'all to take time to really go back and listen to it. Now, there's some other songs that was really big that actually came from the movies that made it big. And I'm going to see if you can remember some of these. Because one of these songs that you're hearing, especially when it became a great movie, and this song came out to be great, I'm going to play two type of versions of it. This is the latest version of it. Great guitar, instrumental. It's in this. Did you get the name of the song? Right there. Even through all that instrumental, you get the name of that song coming out. Most of you don't remember it, but can you name the movie that it came back, that it was in? Come on up, play it again. Because when it came out the second time, they did it to make a video. Now that's a beautiful song, but it inspired other songs too. I enjoyed Toto during the time. They were very easy listening, very good music to listen to. Another one of their songs, and I'm not sure if it's theirs or whose it is, but it says "Caught Between the Moon and New York City." That's a beautiful record. Go back and listen to that one. But I want to move on to another one, that movie that inspired a song. This actually helped a certain lady to become big and famous. Do you know who this is?
It seemed to be like the perfect thing for you and me.
Do you recognize the singer yet? Some of you may not be pronouncing it right. You may just be giving her stage name or her new adopted name.
It's so ironic, you're pictured you to be. But there are facts in our lives we can never change. Just tell me that you understand.
Have you figured it out yet? You may be calling her J-Lo, but do you remember her full name? I think she changed it because when you're out in public and people come up, start hollering your name, and you don't know who they are, it's kind of confusing and upsetting at the same time. So I can understand her doing that. But do you remember her full name?
Feel the same. This perfect romance that I created in my mind. I'd live 1,000 lives, each one with you right by my side.
Have you figured it out yet? Why, yes, Jennifer Lopez is the name on the record. Later became J-Lo. But listen a bit more, see if you can name the song.
But yet we find ourselves in a less than perfect circumstance. And so it seems like we'll never have the chance. And it's funny how some feelings you just can't deny. And you can't move on even though you try.
Have you got it? That's it. Ain't it funny? That spurred a movie. Can you name the movie that it came from? There's another one came out by Frankie Valli, and the Four Seasons that came out a long time ago. This is one by Frankie Valli and that came out. And see if you can remember it. The Four Seasons had done it, but they also was redone by different people. That is an easy one to figure out. Yes, Big Girls Don't Cry. Did this spur a movie? Can you name that movie? I'm not going to name it for you. I want you to name the movie that it came out. Now, my next song was part of a movie too, but it was later on that you get to understand that. And the next song that came out because of a remake of a movie that came out long ago. One of the first colored movies that ever came out, colorized, but yet didn't show in that. But this is played by the band America.
Sometimes late when things are real and people share the gift of gab between themselves. Some are quick to take the bait and catch the perfect prize that waits among the shells. But Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man.
Do you recognize it now? Do you recognize the movie that it comes from? Look it up. You would be so surprised. And I'm really good about wanting you to look things up because to fully enjoy the music and understand where it comes from and how it came about, you really need to do a little bit of homework. And so sometimes I leave that out for you to figure it out. But now my next song that I'm going to bring to you was a movie that came out a long time ago. And some of you already recognize it. Let you know, I was taking classical piano at the time, and that was one of the required learning songs that we had to learn. It was popular, but we had to learn it. See if you recognize it. Can you name the movie? You probably can. So I'm going to help you out with it. The name of the movie was called The Love Story. And when the movie came out, it was written, the song and score and everything was written by Francis Lea and Carl Sagan. And that was the instrumental part that you heard there. But there was words to it, and the first person to start singing it was Andy Williams. And Paramount Pictures at the time rejected that version of the words. And so Andy Williams had to do it again. And when he did, they kept on saying, well, you really can't put words to a beautiful instrumental piece like this. But when it came out, he proved them all wrong because it made the top 100 in the easy listening category. Can you name it? The true title of the song is Where Do I Begin?
Where do I begin to tell the story of how great a love can be? The sweet love story that is older than the sea.
Oh, the hearts that moved that when that movie came out. And this was back in, I think it was 1970s. I'm going to let you look that up because right now it's kind of blowing my mind. I think it was back in 1972 that it came out. And when it came out, well, the song came out by Andy Williams in 1971. So the movie probably came out back in 1970. But when it came out, there was not a dry eye in any girl's eye. And if you were dating, if you were a guy dating at the time or dating anybody at the time, if you did not know this song or be able to play this song, you were not a true romantic. You were not part of the love scene. And that's the way it is. But lots of people doing these reaction videos, I don't think they really get how powerful this song was. Because when Andy Williams, and Andy Williams is more of a country, easy listening type of person, and the songs that he had, listen a little bit more, and you'll see what I mean.
Not the love she brings to me. Where do I start? With her first hello.
Now, you have to understand something about Maureen McCormick. I think that was the actress name in this. She was a beautiful actress. When she did this, and she was opposite of I forgot the guy's name. I'm gonna let you look it up. But it just tore everybody's heart out. At the same time, when it was coming out, there was a song, Miss Here's to You, Mrs. Robinson, got the lovely daughter, and the movie came out, and it talked about a young man and an older woman getting together. They were all college. But anyway, this came out, talk about love. And this were lots of people during the 70s, 80s, 90s, even till today, get to saying true love means never having to say you're sorry. When you love someone, you never have to say you're sorry. Because that was the whole point of it. Even in her myth of her dying on the big screen there, and all these tears were pouring out, it was just the music that you heard. But it wasn't just the music you were hearing. You were hearing the tears and people crying back and forth. Let me take you back to it. the movie and holding hands there at the last. He was sitting there and he finally got love means never having to say you're sorry. Now, when I close out today, I will take you through that one very much. But before I close it out, I want to talk to you about a few more songs. And I want you to go back and listen to these. But sometimes these people doing these songs, writing these songs, are the ultimate in songwriters. Everybody knows this song by the Bee Gees. It's been played over and over and over. And yes, they spurred a movie to come out and it surpassed everybody. Lots of people didn't realize who the Bee Gees were.
You can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Music loud, when they walk, they kick around. Since I was born, never sorry. I'm talking. You may look the other way, but we can try to understand. Do your time, love, make no man. Whether you're further away, or you staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, staying alive, staying alive.
Okay, don't laugh at my dancing. I'm sitting down, so I can't hardly dance there. But did you know that there was other songs that came out that spurred movies? And then one of them that came out was by ZZ Top. I want to go back to this.
On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder.
Again, look at the movie, look at the song, and see what it played in. And sometimes these songs are spurred by other things. But before you get any further in that one, and that's by ZZ Top, I want you to listen to another one by George Thorogood and the Destroyers. The same one, same song. But who is better and who came out with it first?
On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up, said, "Leave this one alone." She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone.
Lordy mercy, yes, bad to the bone. Now, I know that lots of people love that song and they just jam down to it. During the time when this come out, lots of people learning to play hard rock. But there was another song that came out that spurred a movie. And it was actually inspired by well, you have to just understand. It was recorded a long time ago, and it made the top 100s by the songwriter that I'm going to be taking you to and listening to. Because this songwriter helped spur a movie. And this movie won a Golden Globe. And actually, his album that came out a little bit after that winded up selling more than the movie ever could. And it keeps on going good. But this song here was inspired by Caroline Kennedy. And I wonder if you know who the singer is and the song that it is, and what the movie I'm going to be talking about is.
Where it began.
There's people already singing to this.
But then I know it growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? And
A bit more. Are you singing with it yet? Everybody sings with it. Everybody played in stadiums all around the United States and country. Even in his own concerts, he stops right about now. Bum, bum, bum. That's right. Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. He wrote that in honor of seeing Caroline Kennedy. She was on the cover of Life magazine, and she was on a horse and riding crop and everything like that, because she was an equestrian tournaments, kind of a sports type of thing for her. And he saw her and he inspired that song. Well, there was a little while back when this movie came out, and when the movie came out, it was not really treated fairly, even though people say that it's more elevator music than anything else. But you have to understand that when the movie came out, this is back in 1976. Hal Berry, no, it came out before that. Hal Berry and the record came out, and it was redone back in, I think it was, yes, it was redone back again in 1984, and on and on and on. But the song, it was a full movie. The cinematography that was happening to the was new, and there was no CGI to this. It's just all great. And it's telling the story, a third person story. And it's about animal life, and it showed a real animal. It was a bird. It kind of takes you in. It's over the ocean. And it takes you in over the ocean. It takes you out into the sea where you see this boat, and they got their nets in the water and drawing it up. Yes, they have shrimp and other fish and things in it, and hovering all around them. You see these seagulls and the battle they go through just to get a morsel of meal. And then it takes you off to this long seagull flying home to its place. It's high in the cliffs. And the seagull takes and lands on it. And you see the seagull is bloody from the fight that he had from all this. And that was his home. This seagull's name is Jonathan Livingston. And the story's about him. And Neil Diamond, along with Richard Bach, wrote this song, these stories. And these songs, words and everything, was by them. I mean, it's one of the best-selling albums that came back out in 1973 by Columbia Records, and it outsold the movie itself. When it first came out, people ranked it as easy listening on 194 on the best selling of easy listening. But it also made it into the Hall of Fame in 1984. 2011, it made it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And you have to understand that this is an album, and it is so fantastic. And you're hearing just the opening score to it. But I want to take you down and let you listen to a little bit of a monologue of it. And this monologue of them is really of all of his songs, not just one of them. And like I said, I'm going to take you back up here and close you out because I'm about to close it out. But it's opening up. This, if you look at my picture of my logo, you'll see a seagull flying in there. And that's where I get that from. From where I've watched this movie over and over and over. I watched it every day for almost 2 weeks straight, and it came out 3 times in the same theater. As long as I didn't go out, I could stay in there and watch it. And you see, I smoked. Even then, I would not go out. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing, but it's still such a beautiful, beautiful thing. But the whole idea of this is to let you know that sometimes the songs make a great hit. And great hits sometimes make a movie. But sometimes the movies come down and they need a good score. And the scores become great hits, depending upon the band and mood and everything going on at the time. And sometimes those hits, they become classic. They get played over and over. They had the ebbs and tides to it. Sometimes they're high on the list, sometimes they're not. And besides just reacting to them and giving expression, well, I never knew this, never knew that. Find out about it. Now, I get my love of understanding about music from listening to Casey Kasem and Wolfman Jack. If you don't know who they are, look them up. I'll tell you. But Casey Kasem would give you lots of history about it. And Wolfman Jack would just bring the hard facts to you about great music. And there were other ones out there. I like to listen to American Bandstand and Soul Train. Musicians, true musician, there was no color. There was just the art. And that's all that mattered. But next time I come to you, I'm going to be bringing you some of the hidden secrets that's out there. And I'm going to get some full permissions because I like to play some of the full songs and the rights to it. So I need to get copyrights to some of these before I bring them to you. And again, I'm not going to play all the songs, just parts of them, but I still will need to get some copyrights because some of these hidden great talents out there are some that you probably have never heard of. And then after that, I'm going to take you around the world because there's other hidden talents, not just here in America, but from around the world. And leaving with that, I'm going to let you listen one more time to this song. And I want you to understand that this song, even though it's played here, and the movie that they played in was Foul Play with Goldie Hawn and Chevy Chase. But there was other places in the world that first inspired this song. Look up where it's at.
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and a dress cut
Have a
down
nice
like
night.
she would merengue.
Take this song, put it in your head, and try to get rid of it.
Tried to be a star,
Cause there just ain't no way of doing that.
crowded floor. They were
I can't get rid of it.
they were young
Bye bye.